Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Kim and today we're going to do my May wrap up. So, how did I do? I failed Copley. Am I worried? Not really. I was on holiday for 2 weeks. I was at sea, middle of nowhere, just relaxing, taking time for me, so I didn't get as many books read as I wanted to while I was on board. But what can you do? So I'm not taking a forfeit this month. That being said, this month I did read 10 books, a total of 3,859 pages, and an average rating this month of 3.8. Not bad. 2 books unfortunately did knock that down quite a bit because most of my reads this month were actually 4 stars and above. I know. What is wrong with me? Anywho, let's make that bigger so I can see my notes, and let's get into what I actually read last month. The first book that I read in the month of May was on my Copley as a community chest card to read a non-seasonal read. So us being in summer, I decided to read a bit of a spooky one, and I decided to read Hidden Pictures. This one I actually really quite liked. I did give this one 4 stars. It was pretty good and pretty good twists in it. I really kind of liked it. The second book that I read this month was for the Rory Gilmore Book Club, and it was also on Buzzword for flavours. So for that reason, I read a Clockwork Orange, and this I also gave 4 stars. The language is a little bit hard to get around, but because I've seen the movie, I kind of got into it pretty quickly. But it's so twisted and I really enjoyed it, so I gave it 4 stars. The third book that I read this month was on my Copley to read a mood read book. It is also my Agatha Christie book for this month. It was Mrs. McGintys Dead, and I actually really liked this one as well. I gave this one 4 stars. Can you see a theme? This one, I liked the twists again. It kept me engrossed, so yeah, it got 4 stars. The fourth book that I read this month was on Copley for Scroll Feed. I scrolled through Instagram and I found Twisted Love. This is actually the Literature Book Club book for June, so I'm ahead there. And I really liked this one as well. I can't wait to read the second book in this series. I gave this, can you guess what I gave it? 4 stars. The fifth book that I read this month was once again on Copley to read a community chest. I rolled a page number. I used a random number generator between 1 and 1000. It gave me 418. So for that reason, I read Blindsided. Didn't enjoy this one as much as I thought I would. I only gave it 3 stars. Yeah, not the best for me, but what can you do? The 6 books that I read this month, I picked up on the off chance. It's one of the sequels I've been dying to get to, and unfortunately it massively flopped for me. It dragged so badly. That is The Family Remains. I just did not connect with this book at all. Shame, because I really liked the first book. It only got 2 stars. The 7th book that I read this month was on Copley to read a book from my physical TBR, which means I had to actually own it. And I finally got to a book that I actually own multiple copies of. I finally read The Atlas 6. Finally. And I quite liked this one. So for that reason, I gave it 4 stars. The next book that I read, I put onto my holiday TBR, and this was actually really hyped by Steph from Steph Loves, so I saw it in the supermarket and I just had to pick it up, and that is Daisy Darker, and I'm glad I did because I absolutely loved this. It did only get 4 stars. Don't know why I only gave it 4 stars. Why did I only give it 4 stars? You know what? No, I'm going to up that. I'm going to give this 5 stars because this was actually really good, and I still remember every part of that story, and I love the twists, and yeah, really like this one. So I'm going to up that to 5 stars. The next book that I read was also on my holiday TBR, and I picked this up because I absolutely love James Bond. It really links me with my granddad because me and my granddad just watch all the Bond movies. We really love the old Bond movies, but so for that reason, I picked it up in the supermarket along with Daisy Darker. It was on a 2 for, I think it was £8 deal. So I picked it up, and that is With a Mind to Kill. This was so easy to get into. The characters were brilliant and I really enjoyed this. So I gave it 4 stars. The final book that I read this month was not on my holiday TBR. In fact, it wasn't on my TBR at all. But I picked it up while I was on board the ship and I really loved this one. This one was my favourite read of the month. It was Queen of Shadows, and I cannot wait to pick up the next one. I am going to take a little bit of a break though between reading the Throne of Glass books. But yeah, this one, absolutely loved it. Gave it 5 stars. So that was everything that I read in May. Let me know what you thought of any of the books. Let me know whether you think I made the right decision with my star ratings. Let me know whether there's any books that you think that I should read based on what I've read there. Let me know. Yeah, so as always, down in my description box, you'll find a link to all of my socials. Come and be a follow on Goodreads, on Instagram and on Twitter. You can like this video, you can comment, and you can subscribe if you really want to. Want to let me know you're here without actually talking to me? Why not leave... Ooh. Should we leave a sun emoji? It's quite sunny and bright outside. Let's leave a sun emoji, and I will see you next time. Cheers.